Welcome to week 9, day 2. How's your week so far? Mine's doing great. Alrighty, so we're going to continue our learning today on numbers after. Okay, so our focus this week is I can identify the number after without counting when given any number between 0 and 100. I can also identify the number before without counting when given any number between 1 and 10. But that's later in the week. All right, this week, today, we're going to learn about the number after. Our learning goal for today is using a hundreds chart. I can identify the number after without counting when given any number between 50 and 100. Ooh. Okay. So what's this? That's right, it's a hundreds chart. We saw that in our lessons last week. Okay. Now, our learning goal says that we are looking for the numbers through 50 and 100. So that means we don't need the numbers from 1 to 100. We need the numbers from 50 to 100. Where do you see the number 50? 50. Okay, so we're going to cover up the numbers that we don't need for the lesson today. Okay, so we're working with the numbers from 50 to 100. So that means you're going to need to find the numbers on the hundreds chart without counting from 50 to 100 so you can find out what the number after is. Okay, so when you're looking at a hundreds chart, you have these things that are called rows. Those are your lines that go from left to right. Those are your rows. So this row is called 50s row because it's 50 and then it goes 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Okay, and then 60, and then this row is called 60s because it all begins with the number 6. Okay, and then this row is called your 70s row because it comes after 70, and then your 80s row and your 90s row. Now, how come the numbers on this side aren't highlighted with each row? Right, because the beginning of that number starts different. So that the numbers in this column, remember our column that we use when we counted by tens, all start with a different number. Okay, so those are our rows. And now that you know about our rows, we're going to use our columns. Okay, now our columns are important, these lines that go down, because they tell us the number at the end. Okay, so the rows help us find the number at the beginning, and then the columns help us find the number at the end. See, this one is the ones column because all the numbers end in a 1. 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6. Have you figured out Miss Cotton's pattern? 7, 8s, 9s, and 10s. How come this column isn't the 0 column? Right, because if we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this would be the tens column. So the numbers that we use to count by tens. Okay. So we're going to use our rows and our columns to help us find the number, and then we're going to use the number after, which means your next number. Okay, so our number 53. Let's see if we look at the first number. So that means we're going to the 50s row. All righty, 50s row, 50s row. I see 53. Let's see if we can see it by the column. So we have the 50s row and the 3 column. And now we have the number 53. So our job today is to look at the number after, or the number that's next. So after 53 comes, right, 54. So that's our number after. So we had to find the number 53, then locate the number after. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, 67. All right, you see your 60s row? Okay, our 60s row. Now we're looking at what column? Right, that number ends in a 7. So we're going to look at the 7 column. So we now have found the number 67, and our job today is to identify the number that comes after 67, which means the number that comes next. So 67, right, 68. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, 94. How can you tell this number is 94 and not 49? Right, it begins with a 9. And the numbers that begin with a 9 start off our 90 number. So 94. Okay. So what's the number at the end? Right, 4. So if we looked at our 4s column, and then we come down and we find the 94, then that's one way to do it. Or we could have gone at our rows column, because the 90s column is the last column in this hundreds chart. So you could look using your columns or your rows. Okay, so what's the number after 94? Remember, it's the next number. Right, 95. Okay. Okay, this number is 89. So it begins with an 8. So that means we need to go in the 8s, 80 row, and then go to the 9s column, and we've now found 89. But what if you didn't have any colors? What? You could use your finger, and you can go across and say, hey, I'm going to start with the 9s and look and find the number that begins with an 8, and I found 89. What number would come after 89? Remember, the number after is the number that's next after 89. So 89, right, 90. So we're doing the number after. What's this number? You can pause the video and see if you can find the number 70 without me. And then unpause it when you're ready. Okay. So this number is 70. Did you find it on the hundreds chart? Great. Okay, so this number begins with a 7, but if we go to the 70 row, it doesn't begin with a 0. It doesn't have a 0 in it. But remember, this one ends in a 0, so that means we need to go to the 10s column and come down and find 70. So we need to find the number after 70. Oh, wait, there's nothing over here. Nothing. So that means that we need to go to the next, right, to the next row to find the number after 70. What number is after 70? Right, 71. So any of the numbers that end in a 0, you're going to the next row to find out what's after. Okay. Alrighty, this number is 55. Let's see. Both of the numbers are the same. So you can either start by going through the row or start by going to the column to find 55. Two numbers that are the same. Let's see. 5's column all the way down. Nope, 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 nope. Found it. 55. So I'm looking for the number after 55, which is, what do you think? Right, 56. So we found the number that we were looking for. Then we found the next number, which is 56. Alrighty, so your practice set for today looks like this. Hi, 100 chart that we use in our lesson today. So you're going to use the 100 chart to answer your questions. So for each problem, you're going to write the number after. Now, if you don't have your practice set printed out like this, you can just use a piece of paper and a pencil and write your numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then write the number that's after for each problem. Alrighty, so number 1 says 51. That means we're using our numbers chart. We're looking for the number 51. I found 57, but it ends in a 1. So I can go down the ones column and find 51. So the number after 51 would be, right, 52. Okay, number 2 says 89. Hey, we did that in our lesson today. So I'm not going to do that one with you because I know you know. Number 3, 76. I can go right here at the 7s row and go all the way till I find a number that ends in a 6. 76. And the number after is 77. Alrighty. Number 4, 60. This number ends in a 0. So that means we're going to the tens column. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Oops, 60. We're looking for the number after. There's nothing here. Remember, we have to go to the next, right, we have to go to the next row to find the number after 60, which is 61. You guys are great. All right, number 5 says 99. So then you have to write the number after. And number 6 says 73. So I think you guys can do a great job on your practice set. I can't wait to see the numbers that you write after. And you guys can always keep going past 6. You can do other numbers that you find on the 100 chart and make sure you know the number that comes after without counting. Okay, remember we're not starting at 1 to go look for the number. We're looking for the number and then we find the number after. Okay, how did you do with your lesson today? Were you able to identify the number that comes after using your numbers between 50 and 100? I think we did. We used our 100s chart and we used our rows and our columns to help us locate the number. Then we had to find the number after, which also means the next number. So we had to find after the number that we located. So I want you guys to keep up the good work. Don't forget to do your practice set. Have fun. Stay safe.